Hey everybody, how are you? This is Chris Williams from the podcast of The Way Forward. I am so happy today that we are doing a live interview. And with this interview, we are about to talk to who is prominently called the LinkedIn Professor. She helps people get unstuck and be able to move forward and make progress in their career and as an entrepreneur in their lives. And so if you are a person who is looking to make change, who's wanting to build your network in a very new way and utilizing a great tool like LinkedIn, this podcast is for you. So my name is Chris Williams. I'm a keynote speaker, and I work on helping people see beyond your current culture. I help organizations and companies process culture change so that they can help and work more effectively. So today, without further ado, I want to introduce to some and present to others Tajuana Ross. She is the LinkedIn Professor, and she helps people get unstuck. And we're going to talk about what does it mean in this day and age of brand new social media and different things in technology to network. What's it like to be a person who's either looking to expand their network in their corporate career, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to be able to grow where you are today. You want to not only expand your business, but you want to be able to build solid relationships. Well, she is the numero uno person that we have on the podcast today in order to be able to talk about and give you tips. So grab a pen, open your mind, take some time to really sit down and listen to this. This is going to be fun. So I want to introduce to you all Tajuana Ross. How are you, Tajuana?
I am so fantastic. Thank you for a great introduction. I appreciate you, and I am thrilled to be here. Congratulations on all of your success and everything that you're doing lately. I really am elated to be here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. So let's get right into it. So here's what I want to know. Let's rewind the clock a little bit, and let's talk about the moment you knew it's time for me to do something different. Like, what was kind of your moment to help you get over yourself and get unstuck?
Well, I had a few of those moments, but the first one that started the domino effect, if you will, and this was almost 2 years exactly. It was 2 years last week when I got some news back from my doctors. I had been out on medical leave from work for about a month. And I had gone through this series of tests and being poked and prodded every day. And I had a doctor tell me that my problems and my symptoms were my fault. And he said that, this is not a disease. This isn't anything like a virus. It's not DNA. It's not hereditary. It's you have stressed yourself out to the point of prolonged stress, which will stop you in your tracks. And my doctor told me, you got to eliminate whatever it is that's stressing you out. And I remember telling him that, I'm one of the most stress-free people you'll ever meet. So I was in denial, but I had some help, and someone very close to me who knows me very well pointed out to me that going to work every day and carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders from other people's problems is what actually stressed me out. And they realized that over the last prior couple of years that I really was taking on so many other problems of other people. And so that was one of the first aha moments where I realized that what I was doing was not working. I had to remove myself from that situation. And I'll tell you, another big aha moment was when I decided that I wanted to focus on my business full time. So I'm sure we'll come back to that. But, those aha moments and those instances where you're looking at your life and you're knowing you need to make a change, it's so easy for us to think of all the reasons why we can't do something and
Right.
the things that are holding us back. And I really did. I had to get over myself in order to move forward. So.
Wow.
I'm glad I did.
That's powerful. So let's talk about, once you made the transition, you knew you were going to make the leap. Out of all of the networking things that you could find in different apps online, why did you choose LinkedIn?
I didn't have a choice. And so when I did decide I was leaving my job, I was on medical leave, which meant I couldn't tell anyone at my company that I was leaving. And it also meant I couldn't look for another job within my organization. And so I did what I think most people do. Most people will jump on Career Builder and Monster and send out a bunch of resumes all day. And I did that for a little while, actually, nonstop all day. And it got me nowhere. It got me nowhere to the point where my phone didn't ring. I got no responses in email. I didn't even have people responding to me on any of the job sites. But I did remember that one of my colleagues told me I needed to be on LinkedIn. And he told me that because at the time, and this was 2013, he said, Tajuana, you're a very private person, but you can't go through life and have no online footprint as a professional woman. You gotta be on LinkedIn. And he was right. I had no footprint. I was absolutely invisible online as of 2 years ago. So of all the platforms, there is only one platform that is consistently known as the professional networking platform, which meant I had to invest a whole lot of time into learning LinkedIn. And that meant going beyond the tactical. The tactical of LinkedIn would be the pointing and clicking through it, building a profile, that kind of thing. You got to go beyond that. And I finally learned that after investing time into that tool.
Wow. So, for those who might be listening, who might be watching, and they say, well, I'm a little skittish when it comes to building my own digital footprint. Yeah. Why would you say LinkedIn is the most powerful place for even a small business owner to the person who's climbing the corporate ladder?
I am a witness, and I'm a firm believer now that there is no other place to be from a branding perspective. And what I learned in my journey early on is that LinkedIn is known as the place to go if you're looking for a job. But as a business owner, what I found is that it's the place to go to brand yourself. And it's because of branding myself on LinkedIn that now the vast majority, if not just short of all of my business, comes from LinkedIn. If business comes to me and it's not from LinkedIn, it was a referral. But the referral, 9 times out of 10, came from networking on LinkedIn. And so to entrepreneurs out there, I would say, if you're not currently branding yourself on LinkedIn, but you invest your time in Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else online, you can't be surprised when people look at you on LinkedIn and your credibility is shot, because that's the one place you're supposed to be.
Wow, that's big. So let's talk about networking. So, 10 years ago, networking was as simple as going to an event, and a lot of people do it. And even for those who might be looking to make a career change, mm-hmm. The first thing most people think about is, well, I'll just attend a lot of local events and try to, make my way around whatever companies and organizations. But we know over the last 10 years, technology has made a major swing in how people even connect and interact. So why do you think, from a cultural perspective, that LinkedIn has really helped facilitate some of that change more on a healthy side versus using, like you mentioned, the Facebook or Twitter? Not that they're not good, but why do you think LinkedIn really kind of helped shape the culture of what it truly means to network online?
Great question. And I think it's two things. One, it's the features that LinkedIn offers on the platform. So they give you so much value, and most of that value you can obtain for free. Now, granted, you get more value if you're actually paying them a membership fee, but the features that LinkedIn puts in front of you from a branding perspective allow you to put your name and face out there in the marketplace to be able to compete against others. And I think that's really critical. Facebook, I can't say that about, because Facebook, in my experience anyway, is not kind and friendly to the entrepreneur. And so LinkedIn is that place where someone like you and I can go and thrive. And I think that's one piece to it. But the other piece is the perception of what LinkedIn is. And that perception has evolved over time. And so LinkedIn's been around for, more than 14 years now, but it did change in its impact from a resume centered place to now the tool where everyone goes to brand themselves. And in that perception shift, entrepreneurs, business people in general are really maximizing the opportunity that we have that we can't do or we don't have on some of the other platforms. And I think from a mindset perspective, no one logs on to Facebook to do business with you. They log on to Facebook to see videos of cats and memes, right?
Right.
No one goes to Facebook specifically to make money and do business with other people. And LinkedIn, that's the mindset. You log into LinkedIn, you've got the business mentality going on, and you know that whatever activity you do on that platform is probably going to help you take your business to the next level.
That's good. That's good. So, as you mentioned that, and you talk about, how people can really leverage it, what is it that you feel makes people stuck in the first place when it comes to leveraging LinkedIn? Like, what tips or things would you provide, maybe 2 or 3, that people can begin to use to really make sure that their personal brand, because that's really what it comes down to with LinkedIn, you're building a personal brand. So what would you say are some tips and some advice that you would give to our viewers and our listeners that they could leverage in order to be able to make it better for them as far as leveraging LinkedIn?
Great question. And 2 things pop to the front of my mind. Because LinkedIn is a networking platform, not a sales platform, it's designed for people to be able to network. Now, will you sell something as a result of your networking efforts? Sure, absolutely. But it's designed to be a networking platform, and that means relationships are important on LinkedIn, especially from a business perspective. And so the first thing that I would encourage everyone to do, and if you're not already doing this, start doing it now and tell all your friends. When you send a connection request to another individual, especially someone you don't know, but even for someone that I do know, I could be standing next to someone that I know, I will still send a personalized connection request. And so I beg anyone who's listening, I beg you, I'm on bended knee. You are doing your brand a disservice when you send connection requests that are not personalized. And the reason is because this is the first impression of a business relationship that you're establishing. And so I get connection requests from people every single day that are not personalized, meaning it's the default verbiage that LinkedIn has in that request, which tells me on the receiving end that I wasn't important enough for someone to take 10, 30 seconds to tell me why I should actually accept their connection request. And so I don't accept them when they don't tell me why I should, because they're not personalized. So that would be my first tip, is take the extra time to personalize your connection request, because the person on the receiving end is judging you from the moment they see your name and face in their inbox. So that one's critical. The second tip that I would give, again, relationship-based, business relationship-based. I see a lot of profile summaries that are written in the third person. And when people write in the third person, so it'll say something like, Oprah Winfrey is known for blah, 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 right? The message there is Oprah didn't write that. And if Oprah didn't write it, her people wrote it, which means that the relationship I, as the viewer, would have would be with Oprah's people versus having a relationship with Oprah. And so I would say take the time to, really dig deep into telling a story within your summary on your profile, but do it in the first person so that the reader feels as though they actually met you face to face. It has a tremendous impact on the overall relationship building process.
That's good. So number one, making sure that you are sending a connection personalized, but then also making sure your profile is not in third person. Those are really, really good pieces of advice. So you get a lot of clients and people who come to you and they say, Ms. Ross, my profile sucks, or I'm looking to make changes in my job because I don't like it. I need a different career. And I know LinkedIn. So you wrote a book that is on Amazon Get Over Yourself coaching and getting unstuck. Talk to us a little bit about that and what you walk people through in that process.
Well, the book is my first book, and if I do say so myself, it is a great book. So the book is Class is Now in Session, Your 21 LinkedIn Questions Answered. And it's literally 21 questions that people ask me all the time about LinkedIn. And these are more of the tactical kinds of questions, not necessarily strategic questions. And so I tell my clients all the time, I will always give away tactical information for free. So if someone says, hey, how do you send a personalized connection request from the mobile app? I'll tell that to them for free because it's very tactical in nature. It's just pointing and clicking through something. But when it comes to the strategy behind LinkedIn, that's what I always charge for. So this book was designed for people who come to me and need the basic questions answered without having to invest a whole lot of time and energy into a coaching program when really they just need the things to start with. So it's a great book that answers those important questions, but they're the most common questions that I get. So I encourage anyone to go to Amazon and get the book. Within the next month or so, it'll be out on paperback as well.
Awesome. So as a person who's a business owner, you also own a business as well, and you've been able to go from corporate to owning your own business. What's one piece of advice you would give for those who are, maybe they're not looking to be an entrepreneur, but maybe they're saying, hey, I want to change careers. I've been in this industry for 10, 15 years, and I just want to do something different. What's a piece of advice you can give to those particular individuals who might be viewing this and saying, but I'm the person that just wants to change careers. I'm not ready to jump ship and create my own ship.
Sure. My advice for anyone in any situation in life is mindset is everything. What you tell yourself is ultimately the beginning of how your results come to you. And so if we work the equation backwards, usually people call me and they say they don't like the results they're getting in life. So they want to learn how to get different results. And when I walk them backwards through this process, it's very clear that what we say to ourselves, our thoughts in our head, become the things that we think about on a regular basis. And the things we think about on a regular basis become the things that we say. And the things that we say become the habits that we have in our day. And those habits are what create the results that we have. So I tell people all the time, wherever you are, whatever stage of life you're standing in, and you're at a brick wall and you can only go left or right, or maybe just stay where you are. Mindset is everything, and be cognizant of what you're saying to yourself, because almost all the time, in fact, I'd go so far as to say all the time, we control what happens to us in life because we make choices on everything in life. We have the power to make different choices. And I'm not the one to tell you that making different choices will be easy. In fact, if what you're trying to do is worthwhile, those choices will not be easy, because the things that we really truly hold valuable in life do not come easily to us. So my advice would be mindset, whether it's becoming an entrepreneur or finding another job somewhere. Be careful with what you're saying to yourself, because it is us that is holding our own selves back. And if we can all just have healthier self-talk and get over ourselves, we're more likely to move forward, because we're not beating up on ourselves in our heads. And it seems like we, culturally speaking, have the tendency to fall back on those excuses or reasons why we can't do the things that we want to do in life. So I challenge anyone listening and watching to always be kind to yourself and say more productive things to yourself so that your results end up being different.
That is so awesome. Well, listen, Ms. Ross, we appreciate you. For our listeners and viewers, if you want to find more about Tajuana and the work that she does, you can definitely go to LinkedIn. If you don't have a profile yet, you're 2 steps behind, but now you can get caught up based on the information that you've heard today. So definitely go on LinkedIn. You'll be able to find her there. You can also go to her website at getoveryourselfcoaching.com. That's getoveryourselfcoaching.com. Well, listen, my name is Chris Williams. I appreciate Tajuana stopping by. I thank you for watching this, and we hope that this podcast today was able to help you point the way forward. Have a great day.